Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abu Rasheed with you on the Arabic Quran YouTube channel. Welcome to another episode where we go through a simple dialogue in Arabic where you can pick up vocabulary in a natural way because it's in context and it's live in a dialogue, and you can also improve your comprehension. Okay, so let's get to it. I will read the dialogue twice. The first time, just run it through, and then the second time, I will translate and make some comments if as necessary. As far as the color coding goes, the yellow refers to particles. The purplish pink refers to verbs. Everything else is a noun. I do have a subset of nouns in turquoise blue, and that is to highlight whether the noun is in singular or plural form. If it's singular, I'll give you the plural. If it's plural, I'll give you the singular. Okay? So let's go through this now. متى رجعت. So the mother starts off. متى رجعت من المدرسة يا بني؟ رجعت قبل نصف ساعة. أين أختك مريم؟ أما رجعت؟ لا أدري، أنا ما رأيتها. ماذا قرأت اليوم؟ قرأت اليوم درسا جديدا في الفقه. أفهمته؟ نعم، فهمته جيدا. أما قرأت القرآن اليوم؟ بلى، قرأت سورة الرحمن وحفظتها. ففرح بي المدرس كثيرا وقال: إنك أحسن طالب في الفصل، ما شاء الله، زادك الله علما يا بني. أغسلت قمصان يا أمي؟ نعم، غسلتها وكويتها. خذ هذا القميص. هاتي ذاك يا أمي، ذاك أجمل من هذا. تدخل مريم. So Maryam enters, that's in brackets. So then Maryam says, السلام عليكم، كيف حالك يا أمي؟ وكيف حالك يا أخي؟ وعليكم السلام، أهلا يا بنتي. متى خرجت من المدرسة؟ خرجت بعد صلاة الظهر. أين زميلتك؟ أين زميلاتك؟ آسف، أين زميلاتك آمنة وفاطمة وسعاد؟ أنا ما رأيتهن بعد الصلاة. يا بنتي، أخوك حفظ سورة الرحمن. أي سورة حفظت أنت؟ أنا حفظت سورة الحديد، وهي أطول من سورة الرحمن، وكذلك حفظت 16 آية من سورة النبأ. ما شاء الله، إنك طالبة مجتهدة. أنا مسرورة بك. أذهبت إلى المكتبة اليوم؟ نعم، ذهبت. ماذا قرأت هناك؟ قرأت مجلة من باكستان اسمها الإسلام. أباللغة العربية هي؟ لا، هي باللغة الإنجليزية. أذهبت إلى المديرة؟ لا، هي ما جاءت اليوم. لما؟ أظن أنها ذهبت إلى مكة. أشربت الشاي؟ لا، ما شربت. Then it says to للخادمة, she's speaking to the servant. هاتي الشاي يا ليلى، وهاتي قطعة خبز أيضا يا ليلى، أنا جوعة. Alright, so let's go through this. Okay, go all the way to the top. Okay, so the mother says, متى رجعت من المدرسة يا بني? So we have the verb رجعت that comes from رجع يرجع, which means to return. So she's saying متى رجعت. So she's talking to Saeed. متى رجعت من المدرسة يا بني? When did you return from the school, oh my dear son? Bunay, I discussed that before morphologically, so I'm not going to go into it here. But in a previous episode, I did discuss that. But she could have said yabni, ibni, right? Or bunay. Bunay is a little more, yani, bilhanan. There's tenderness there. So my dear son. And the plural for al-madrasa or is al-madaris, and bunay is abna or banun. Okay, abna or banun. Okay. Saeed responds and says, رجعت قبل نصف ساعة. I returned half an hour ago. I returned half an hour ago. Okay. Nisf, the plural for nisf is ansaf, like when you say halves. Okay. Ansaf, so nisf. And sa'a is sa'at. Sa'at. Okay. The mother then comes back and says, أين أختك Maryam? Where is your sister Maryam? The plural for ukht is akhawat, sisters. Okay, akhawat. And then she says, Ama raja'at? Did she not return? So Saeed responds and says, La adri, I don't know. The verb here is adri, to know. Dara yadri. Dara yadri. It is a weak verb because it has a ya as the third root letter. Okay. And then she says, Ana ma ra'ituha. Saeed says, Ana ma ra'ituha. I did not see her. I did not see her. So the verb there is ra'a yara. Ra'a yara, to see. Okay. Ana ma ra'ituha. The mother then says, ماذا قرأت اليوم? What did you read today? What did you read or recite today? So Saeed responds, and the verb there, qara'ta, is from qara'a yaqra'u. It's a mahmuz verb. قرأ يقرأ. Saeed then says, قرأت اليوم, I read today, درسا جديدا, a new lesson في الفقه, in jurisprudence. And then the mother says, أفهمت? Did you understand it? Saeed then says, نعم, yes, فهمته جيدا, I understood it well. Then the mother says, أما قرأت القرآن اليوم? Did you not read the Quran today, or did you not recite the Quran today? And now she's asking in a negative way. So in order to say that he did read it, he responds with bala. So I explained the difference between na'am and bala in a previous episode, so I won't get into it here. But the question was asked in a negative way, so he responds bala to affirm the portion where it says قرأت القرآن اليوم. Okay. All right. Then he says بلى قرأت سورة الرحمن. I read the chapter of Ar-Rahman وحفظتها, and I memorized it. ففرح بي المدرس كثيرا. So the teacher was very happy with me. Let me go back to the وحفظتها. So the verb there is حفظ يحفظ, to preserve, to guard, to memorize. Okay. ففرح بي. فرح يفرح, to be very euphoric, to be very happy. Okay. He was very happy. The teacher was very happy with me. Okay. And then he also says وقال, and he said, قال يقول, وقال, and he said, إنك أحسن طالب في الفصل. You are the best student in the class. Oh, and by the way, I missed surah. Surah, there, the plural would be sur. And I know I highlighted, al-mudarris, yeah, it's al-mudarris. And the plural for al-mudarris, the teacher, would be al-mudarrisun. Sorry, I missed that. So surah would be sur, the plural would be sur, and for al-mudarris, the plural would be a sound masculine plural, which we call jama' mudhakkar salim, mudarrisun or al-mudarrisun. Okay. Now in the last part of the sentence here, or the last part where we have talib, there's two plurals. Both of them are broken. One is tullab and the other is talabatun. Talabatun. And al-fasl, the classroom, the plural would be fusul. Okay. So then the mother says, MashaAllah, she's happy as Allah willed it. Zadakallahu ilman ya bunay. She says, may Allah increase you in knowledge, oh my dear son. Zada yazidu. Zada yazidu, which means to increase. Okay, that's the verb. And ilman, ilm is the base noun, and the plural is ulum, sciences or knowledge in plural. In English we don't say knowledges, but in Arabic you can say ulum. Okay. The verb sha'a, I should have mentioned that one. Sha'a yasha'u. Sha'a yasha'u means to will or wish something. And then Saeed comes back and says, أغسلتِ قمصاني يا أمي? Did you wash my shirts, O my mother? The verb غسل يغسل. غسل يغسل, which means to wash. And قمصان, which is the mudaf here, is the plural for qamis. Qamis, which comes in the next sentence, and that's why I didn't highlight it. Qamis means shirt. Qumsan is shirts. There's also another broken plural, aqmisatun. Aqmisatun. Okay? All right. Let me move this up a bit. And the mother then says, let's see, where's it? Yeah, the mother says, Naam. غسلتها. I washed them. وكويتها, and I ironed them. So the verb here, كويت, comes from كوى يكوي. كوى يكوي, which means to iron. وكويتها. And then she says, خذ هذا القميص. Take this shirt. خذ is an imperative, means to take, and it comes from the verb أخذ يأخذ. أخذ يأخذ, to take. Saeed then says, Hati dhaka ya ummi. Give me that one, oh my mother. And hati is fi'lun jamid. You don't, there is no present and past tense for this, okay? It's a verb that just comes in the imperative, and it means to give. So hati, he's saying hati because the ya there is ya al-khitab. He's talking to his mother, so that's for feminization, okay? It's the fa'il, taqdiruhu anti, for those of you who follow the grammar aspect, okay? And then he says, give me that one. Then he says, ذاك أجمل من هذا. That one is more beautiful than this one, okay? And then Maryam enters. It says, تدخل Maryam. Maryam enters, and she says, Assalamu alaikum. كيف حالك يا أمي? How are you, my mother? وكيف حالك يا أخي? And how are you, my brother? وعليكم السلام. The mother responds, وعليكم السلام. أهلا يا بنتي. Welcome, my daughter. Actually, sometimes I miss the nouns, but let me go back to the previous one. Make sure I didn't miss any there. Yeah. In the previous sentence, when Maryam said, كيف حالك? كيف حالك يا أمي? Hal there is the singular, it means state or condition, and the plural would be ahwal. Ahwal. Okay? You don't want to say ahwal because that means terrors from the noun hal. This here is hal. Okay? Hal, not hal. So you want to say ahwal is the plural. And then akh, the plural for akh, brother, is there's two, ikhwan and ikhwatun. Okay? She said, Ahlan ya binti, welcome my daughter. Bint, the plural would be banat. Banat. There's also ibnatun, that's another word for daughter, ibnatun, or girl. And again, but the plural again for that is banat. Okay. Then she says, Mata kharajti min al-madrasa. When did you leave? When did you leave the school? So kharajti means to exit or leave. And the verb there is kharaja yakhruju. Okay. Maryam then comes back and says, kharajtu ba'da salat al-dhuhr. I left after the dhuhr prayer. And salah here is singular. The plural is salawat. Salawat, prayers. Okay. The mother then says, Aina zamilatuki. Where are your colleagues, your peers, Amina and Fatima and Su'ad? And then Maryam says, Ana ma ra'aytuhunna ba'da salah. I did not see them after the prayer. Ra'aytu here goes back to the verb which we already covered, ra'a yara, which means to see. And then the mother says, Ya binti, oh my daughter, Akhuki hafidha Surat al-Rahman. Your brother memorized Surat al-Rahman. And surah, I have it highlighted here, but we already covered it. The plural would be surah. Also for zamilat, jumping back a couple of sentences, zamilat, the singular would be zamila, zamilatun, female colleague, and zamil and زملاء are the male or the masculine equivalents. Okay, so أخوك حفظ, we did حفظ, to guard, to preserve, to memorize. حفظ يحفظ. Your brother memorized Surah Ar-Rahman, the chapter of Rahman. And then she says, أي سورة حفظتي أنت? Which surah did you memorize? And she says, أنا حفظت سورة الحديد. I memorized the chapter of the iron. Okay. وهي أطول من سورة الرحمن. She says it is longer than Surah Al-Rahman. Okay. وهي أطول من سورة الرحمن. Okay. It is longer than the chapter of Ar-Rahman. وكذلك, and also حفظت 16 آية من سورة النبأ. And then she says, I also memorized 16 verses from the chapter of An-Naba, the great news. Okay. Now, just want to point out something here. You see, this is just these three things real quickly here. The sitta is masculine, the ashrata is feminine, and ayatan, which acts as the tamyiz here, is feminine. Okay. In Arabic, there has to be a disagreement between this and this. Now, I'm going to highlight something here. Let me do it in this color. This type of number structure is called a murakkab in Arabic. Okay, it's masculine. In this case, it's masculine and feminine. If the tamyiz is feminine, then the first part of the murakkab has to be masculine from 13 to 19. The numbers 13 to 19, they have to be, the first part of the murakkab has to be opposite. There has to be what we call al-mukhalafa, not al-mutabaqa or al-muwafaqa. There has to be al-mukhalafa. There has to be a difference. And that's the rules of numbers. Okay, the rules of there's many rules of numbers, and they can get a little complex. But sitta is masculine, ayah is feminine, and it also has to be singular. You notice it's not ayat. The plural is ayat, but from 13 to 19, actually 10 through 11 through 19, sorry, it's in singular form. It's in singular form. Actually, 11 to 99, if you want to think about it that way. 11 to 99, and actually 100 and beyond. I'm getting into the rules here, but that's also singular after 100, but it takes a different case. It's majroor, not mansub. Okay, but I'll stop there because numbers can get a little confusing and complex. Okay, so anyways, just wanted to point that out. And then the ashrata has to be opposite from sitta, and it agrees with the tamyiz. Okay, so there's three relationships there. Okay, that you can see. Now the mother then comes back and says, Masha Allah, innaki talibatun mujtahida. You are, she's very happy, and she says, you indeed are a hardworking student. Taliba, feminine, right, for talib, and the plural would be talibat, and the plural for mujtahida would be mujtahidat. So if you wanted to say hardworking female students, talibatun mujtahidatun. Okay. And then then the mother further says, Ana masruratun bik. I'm very happy with you. Masruratun, the plural would be masrurat. Okay. And by the way, for mujtahid, if it was masculine, it would be mujtahid, and the plural would be mujtahidun. And for masrura, if it was masculine, it would be masrur, and the plural would be masrurun. Okay. Then the mother asks further, أذهبتِ إلى المكتبة اليوم? Did you go to the library today? And Maryam responds and says, Naam, yes, I went. Here the verb, and as in the previous sentence, or two sentences ago, is ذهب يذهب, to go. Okay. And then the mother says, ماذا قرأت هناك? What did you read there? Okay. Maryam responds, قرأت مجلة من باكستان اسمها الإسلام. I read a magazine from Pakistan. Okay, and by the way, Pakistan is mamnu' min as-sarf, so even if it comes after a harf jar, it gets a fatha, not a kasra. You don't say min Pakistani, min Pakistana. Ismuha, its name is al-Islam. So she read a magazine from Pakistan and its name is Islam. And majallatan is singular. Majallat would be the plural for magazines. Okay. The mother then says, "Abi اللغة العربية هي?" And she says, is it in the Arabic language? And Maryam responds, "لا هي باللغة الإنجليزية هي باللغة الإنجليزية." It is in the English language. And the mother then says, "أذهبت إلى المديرة?" Did you go to the principal, female principal? And by the way, اللغة is singular there, 2 sentences ago, اللغة. And اللغات would be the plural. Okay. أذهبت إلى المديرة. المديرة is singular. مديرات would be the plural for feminine. And if this was masculine, it would be mudir, and the plural would be, there's actually 2 plurals, mudirun and mudura. Okay. Mudura. That would be the other plural. Okay, we're almost done here. This is the last part. And Maryam then says, "لا هي ما جاءت اليوم." No, she did not come today. جاءت is the verb to come. It's جاء يجيء. جاء يجيء. And by the way, even though there's a sukun on the ta, because of iltiqa sakinain, where 2 sukuns meet, you have to break that with a kasra, so it would be هي ما جاءت اليوم. Okay. The mother then says, "Lima, why?" And this lima is different. I go into detail in the class when I discuss this, but suffice it to say here, if there's nothing coming after, you can say lima, okay, instead of limadha. All right, you can say limadha, but lima usually signifies that there's nothing coming after it. Okay, it gives the listener a cue. And then Maryam says, "أظن أنها ذهبت إلى مكة." I think, or I suppose that she went to Mecca. Okay, أظن means to think. You don't know for sure, but you're thinking that, most likely that she went to Mecca. The verb is what we call مضاعف verb, ظن يظن. So here, because she's talking about herself, she's saying أظن, I think that she went to Mecca. The mother then comes back and says, أشربت الشاي? Did you drink tea? The verb here, shariba yashrabu, which means to drink, and ashai is tea. The plural would be ashayat, like in English where we say teas, ashayat. Okay. Maryam says, "La ma sharibt." No, I did not drink. Lil khadima, to the servant. Khadima is singular. Khadimat is the plural. And if it was the masculine version, khadim, khuddam, or khadam. Okay. Now, hati ashaya ya Layla. The mother says to the servant, whose name is Layla, give me the tea, Layla, O Layla. And then Maryam says, wahati qita'ata khubzin aydan ya Layla. And also give me a piece of bread, O Layla. Ana jaw'a. I'm hungry. Okay. Now, she does not say Jo'an because Jo'an is for a masculine. Jo'a is for a female. Okay. And the plural, which would apply to both males and females, would be Ji'a. Ji'a. Okay. As far as qita, which means piece, the plural would be qita'un. Qita'un. And khubz is bread. The plural would be akhbaz. Breads. Akhbaz. Okay, that is it for the dialogue. I hope you benefited. I know it was kind of long today, but it was a long dialogue. We'll see you next time, inshallah ta'ala. Next week, we'll have another simple dialogue for you. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the notification button. And if you think others would benefit from this video, please circulate. This is Abu Rasheed signing off for the Arabic Quran YouTube channel. Dumtum fi amanillah wa ri'ayati. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.